This is my intro music. Welcome to the video. I hope you like it lots, so don't forget to subscribe and click the thumbs up button. Now let's react.
Hey, hi, hello there. I'm now in the same outfit because I decided to just kind of push through this. All right, so 15 minutes. Let's do my clock. See, it's got a bar. It's visual. I know this is how you teach children to tell time. What does that tell you? Thank you to everybody who's been supporting the channel. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. You guys rock. Thank you to everybody who's going to hit the thumbs up button. If you want to know more about what we are doing here exactly, please go all the way back to the very first video and watch that. I think it's probably the first 30 minutes I'm rambling, and that will probably explain everything to you. It's been a minute. I don't remember exactly what I said in the first video. I do have them sped up to time and a quarter. This will be the last video that we're going to go over conversations with Ariel Fuller on Fulmer, there we go, with Rock Bottom with Ned Fulmer, which was the very first episode of Ned Fulmer's podcast that he just started launching. So at the end of this, we'll go look at some of the other episodes. It's been 5 months since we started this. So, hey, we're done. So there's that. But yeah, I would like to go look at some of the other episodes that he's put out. I don't know. If you guys enjoyed this, we could look at some of the other episodes, maybe not in this format. Maybe instead of doing this like this, maybe we'll go over it just in one chunk. Chunky. Maybe I can just, pull out important moments as opposed to trying to go through the whole episode. I feel like this one was more important to do that with just because it's Ariel, his wife. Also, it's been a lot of fun watching her chew him to pieces at certain points. And the way Ariel talks is just absolutely amazing, and I appreciate it a great deal. So that's been a lot of fun for me. I hope it's been fun for you guys. If you guys are enjoying the format of these videos, it is because I have an editor. And if you enjoy my editor, please be sure to watch these videos all the way to the end. That is how I afford my editor. So say thank you to the editor. I don't know. You guys leave really nice comments for my editor down below. And I think I should do a video where I read those comments. Because I think that's the only way my editor will ever see the comments. But you guys do say such lovely things about my editor. All right, let's get into this. I have them sped up. This is the last 18 minutes. We left off with them talking about how awesome their children are. I'm not going to back it up. I said in the last video that I appreciate that they both seem to really like their kids. So that's important to me.
For me.
And I don't really think we need to go relive that moment. Cool. Go.
And I mean, they're worth every cent we've spent on therapy.
Yeah, because I mean, that's like a big reason why we're working so hard to rebuild.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know if I would call it rebuilding. I think we're building something new.
Yeah.
And this is another moment. I know I talked about this in the last video. I think I've talked about this in every video. Ned says about the kids, they're the reason why we're trying to rebuild. And Ariel immediately corrects him. I wouldn't say we're rebuilding. We're building something new. Every time, and Ned always does it. Ned always tries to figure out a way to make it so that, maybe we're getting back together. Maybe, put my foot in the door. And every time Ariel just slams the door right on his foot. Every time. And this is another really good example of this one. We're rebuilding. And she says, no, we're building something new. It's not the same. We're not going back. There's no going back. There's new, but there's no going back. And I just think that was a really good moment for that right there.
Yeah, for sure. I think you have to view it like that. The past is no longer.
No, burn that shit to the ground.
My wife. Yes. It's very strange living and having a marriage while also having that be so public facing.
I need him to finish that thought.
Mm.
Did you ever feel that there was these layers of the public facing you versus the real you?
Yes. And that was that was always a struggle for me because I felt like I wanted to, like, I wanted the two to be the same. You know, I always wanted to be one whole person. And I didn't want to be like an actor on camera and like and then another person in my real life. You know, and that's the funny thing about like being a YouTuber or being an influencer is people expect you to be one person in your real life and on the internet. And then when you're not, then it's like, well, you're lying, you know? But I don't know. What do you think?
Well, it's ironic because
I want to stop him because I've got some things to say about that. I've got some things to say about that. Ned is trying to look into the past. No, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Ned's trying to look into the past. He's trying to ask Ariel about what was it like living in the past, being so publicly married. And did you ever feel like the public facing you was different than the private you? And she says yes. And I mean, yes. What's happening though is one could say that he is setting up the possibility for him to be like, yeah, whatever personality you saw through the internet, you, the audience, that wasn't the real me. That was just a character me. You see the girls do this a lot. You guys don't know the real me. Well, I mean, yeah, because you don't put the real you out there. And I don't expect people on the internet to be the real them. That would be weird. That would be weird. But I do expect people who are making a channel about themselves, like Ned. I don't know what the Try Guys were about, to be perfectly honest with you guys. I never watched them. I didn't even know who this dude was until people wanted me to watch this 5 months ago. I'm so sorry. Anyway, I vaguely, okay, I'm not going to pretend like I've never heard about the Try Guys, because I did. I just never watched them. Like, I'm sure didn't one of them used to eat like Taco Bell? Like go to I remember watching one. Didn't one of the guys used to go to like fast food restaurants and order like every item on the menu and eat it? Because I remember watching some dude and he ate like every item at Taco Bell. And I was like, I really like Taco Bell. It's like the only thing I remember about that. I was like, I really like Taco Bell. I really want some Taco Bell. That was like a really long time ago. But what Ned is doing here is basically getting ready to set up room for excuses. Wait for it. Wait for it. People still do that.
This just in.
Wait for it.
No.
at the same time, I think what the internet wants from you is to be a one-dimensional character.
Mm-hmm.
How so?
See?
Well, if you, I think, there's.
Yeah, Ned. What do you mean? What do you mean, Ned?
If you make TikToks as like a certain persona or doing a certain joke, if you deviate from that joke, oftentimes your like engagement will plummet. Like people.
Ned wants to say that he can't change because if he does change, then engagement will go away. And I mean, yeah, some people will not be interested in whatever the new topic is because that's not what you built your channel on. True. But also, mostly the algorithm is just not going to push your content because the algorithm will be like, this isn't your content. We don't know what to do with this. All right, Ned, take us away. Go.
Kind of want to like just see, it's like, oh, it's like you're a stereotype. You're kind of like that person. And I guess I noticed that in my own work. It's like the things that consistently drew people in were adorable family posts or talking about my wife, and then producers lean into that and like craft situations for me. And
one thing that Ned is doing here is he's framing the issue as the publicness of their marriage, not his betrayal. And he's setting this up for like, oh, the producers are the ones that made this situation, right? He's never referred to this as, has he said the words my affair? He's never said that, I don't think. Like, there's a lot of things he hasn't said. He'll say the situation, the scandal. He'll use anything except affair, I think. But anyway, he frames this issue as from the publicness of their marriage, not from his betrayal. And now he's setting this up as moral masking, right? He's blaming the structure, the producers, the viewers. I just blame the algorithm. He's saying that this is taking away his ability, his personal agency in creating a brand, because he doesn't have the freedom to change, right? He's trying to confuse the conversation by saying things like he was trapped by the producer's demands, or the producers were exploiting him and his marriage because, he became the guy that talked about his wife. And I mean, here they were crafting it into that, and crafted like situations for me, right? So they were doing it. He's retelling the past in a way that rebrands it as external forces were creating him into a caricature, Anyway, we're turning him into a caricature, not his own actions. Like, this was all outside of his control. What does it have to do with your affair? I'm sure he's going to be like going back to, was it 2 videos ago? Yeah, 2 videos ago, where he was like, oh, everything was falling apart and I was afraid and confused. And so I chose the most destructive choice I could have made, i.e. to have an affair. So I'm sure that's where this is heading. Oh, everybody took over my life and everybody was making me do all this stuff and it wasn't the real me. So I went and had an affair. Yeah, that's the logical step. That's the logical flow of these things. Sure, dude. Therapy would have been my first step, but some guys have affairs. He's not wrong, actually. He's actually not wrong. That's the sad part here, actually. Like I said, I think I said in the last video, and maybe someday we can sit down and look at this. There's a lot of research out there these days about why men cheat, men specifically. And I'm sure there's a lot of research out there about why women cheat, because the men who are cheating typically are cheating with women. Sometimes they cheat with other men. No judgment there. But like, why men cheat? And it doesn't usually have anything to do with their home life. It doesn't tend to have anything to do with that. It's all about the guy, the man who is cheating. Right? Again, though, takes 2 to tango. This man was cheating with a woman who, again, I don't know much about the woman he was cheating with, but she apparently was also cheating on someone else. So again, it takes 2, right? I'm not absolving the person he was cheating with. I just don't know anything about her. Not part of the conversation right now. So that's why I'm not bringing her into it. It's just kind of like, his affair didn't have anything. And he's made this pretty clear, actually. His affair didn't have anything to do with Ariel. It didn't have anything to do with his home life. It sounds like he is trying to craft an excuse for his affair around his loss of agency of his own appearance, his own brand in the public, his public facing self.
I don't know. Over time, it felt super pigeonholed and just like I had to fulfill this one like quadrant in a foursome to just be this like.
Oh yeah, there were 4 of them.
Caricature.
You were like put in a box.
I was like, foursome. I forgot there were 4 try guys. I was like, what the hell? What did I miss?
Yeah, I think it's very hard to like be a full person with nuance on the internet. There's always sort of a performance layer.
So what are you going to do now that you're back on the internet?
That's a leading question. Go.
It's a great question. I, for a long time, didn't want to return to the internet because I didn't see a way of I didn't want to be myself. I didn't want to make anything. I didn't feel creative. And as time has moved on, I have a desire to create and to tell stories, but I don't really want it to be about myself as a character or myself or my relationship or my personal life. You know, I've always been drawn to things that make people curious and finding ways of connecting people with their interests. And so I came up with I don't know, I see myself more as like a host and more as just a vehicle for other people's stories.
That was an interesting switch in tone. And also interesting that she's now leading the question. I don't know if she's going to continue, but that was an interesting way of her. It's been a while since I've done this, since I've made these notes. But it's interesting that she shifted the tone so that he is now being interviewed by her, at least in this question. And now it's about Ned. It really is about Ned now. It's not Ned making it about himself. It's not Ned desperately trying to make it about himself and how he is a victim, even though he's the one that did all the shit. Now she's asking him, what are you going to do? And he's like, well, I'm going to go, I'm going to go be a host and be a vehicle for other people's stories. Okay. But he does say, for a long time, I didn't want to return to the internet. But this is, strategic victimhood. His suffering is being reframed as his triumphant return. Again, this goes back to that the self-mythologizing feedback loop. His triumphant return, his redemption arc. This is part of the redemption arc. I predicted that we were going to see in the last few minutes, we're going to see him speed run into that redemption arc. And this is what we're doing. We're building that redemption arc so that we can triumphantly come out of this first episode with, haha, Ned is returning to the internet. Yay. He's the hero we didn't know we needed. Huzzah. Right. So, he's been a victim of the internet because, the Try Guys and the internet, they were just pigeonholing him into one quadrant of a foursome. That was a weird way of putting it, but hey, there you go. The producers and the algorithm only wanted him to tell one joke, and that was apparently his wife. Womp womp. I don't know if he realized he said that, but there you go. And his suffering has given him some kind of new outlook on life that's somehow qualifying him to be the vehicle for other people's stories. I'm just reframing some of this stuff. I'm over dramatizing. There we go. What he said. I'm being a little hyperbolic. And but this is the redemption arc that's being set up here. And I find it interesting that she is the one. Well, I mean, she's the only other person here. Somebody had to set up the conversation. That's interesting that it was her. It's not like a third person was going to walk in off the set and be like, now, Ned, tell us about yourself.
I don't know. Maybe I can, because of what I've gone through and my past, like connect with people and empathize with people.
Because of what I've gone through, maybe I can connect and empathize with other people. What have you gone through, Ned? Like what? As Ariel said earlier, like what? Like cheating on my wife? Oh, like that, huh?
What?
Look at her face, though. Look at her face. She may be leading these questions, but I don't think she likes the answers.
No, I'm just. You think you're interesting enough?
No, I don't.
You think other?
Damn. You think you're interesting enough? Wow. She's like, "Where's your neck?" So sorry. Am I though?
People
I think other people will be interesting, and then that's regardless of whether I think I'm interested. I don't want to talk about my personal life or my family. Like I want to keep our children out of the spotlight.
That would be nice. I would appreciate that. I don't like when people drag their kids into shit.
I keep our
Alexandra Rodriguez.
dating lives private. Like it's not a good idea for my mental health, at least, but I think also in general, to sort of make your whole life your brand.
Been there, done that. Didn't work out. That's what that face is.
I want to make stuff that helps people learn things, make stuff that helps people like empathize with others. And, you know, the idea behind the podcast is to tell stories of other people's challenging times and how they overcame them.
That's a fairly neutral face.
Because if there's one thing I noticed is that people really seem to care about the train wreck that I caused.
To be fair, 5 months ago, several of you asked me to watch this and asked my opinion of it. I, like I said, didn't even remember who the fuck he was. I'm glad I did this. This is fun. And I have since fallen in love with the train wreck that is Ned Fulmer. Tell us about your train wreck, Ned. Tell us all about it. I just want to see, because I think Ned's a cow. He's a lol cow. Actually, I don't think he's a lol cow. I just think he's one of the girls, which I think unfortunately makes him a lol cow. And I want to see if I'm right. And I hope I'm not. But I'm also very interested to see how you crash and burn like Ned has. Because it's not just his married life that he like royally screwed up. He also screwed up like his business life as well. I know bits and pieces. I haven't really done a huge deep dive, but I know he like his association with the Try Guys and the company that they built, that didn't work out either. So I'd like to see how you recover from that.
Would you say that was your rock bottom? Have you hit your rock bottom? Or do you think?
I hope so. Yeah. Yeah, I would say my rock bottom was it's funny. In the car there was still a part of me that thought, you know, maybe, you know, because we'd been doing therapy, like we kind of had talked about a variety of things, and my rock bottom was you know, being in a I think the moment for me is you like sent me a text that night that was like, I don't think we can get past this. And it's just sort of like my whole world crashed. I was like, oh, right. It's what I did.
It's gotta be, I do feel a little sympathetic for him right here because like we've all broken up with somebody or we've all been broken up with, or both. It's just gotta be a hell of a text to send or to receive. Like, you've been with somebody for how many years? You've got kids, you've got property, you've got everything. And then you're just finally like, yeah, it's not this. Yeah, no. Like, it's not like you dated for like 6 months and you're just like, no, I'm not feeling it. Nah, man, this is like time. You know, you got little humans that you're like irresponsible for. You know, you got to explain to them what the fuck's going on. Yeah, I mean, this has got to be rough for everyone involved, and I do kind of feel sorry for him. So in this moment, like that's got to be rough. But you know, choices have consequences.
Wasn't like in our boundaries or in any sort of like what I did was unforgivable, and there's no hope. And I don't think I slept that night. I remember writing you a long letter, and it was ironic. That weekend I was at a wedding, and they like played our wedding song as their dance. It was like black tie. Everyone's very fancy. I just like,
that's called karma. I'm sorry, that's mean. And then I laugh about it. Shit, I'm a terrible person. Oh, I'm a terrible person. Oh, Jesus, I'm so sorry. And I'm still laughing about it too.
We only have a couple more minutes. I know we could keep on talking. Maybe we will, but
Are there any last minute questions we need to address before?
are we together?
We are not together. We live separately. We are devoted co-parents to our two beautiful, beautiful children.
Ah, they have 2 children. I just noticed that she's got this locket that's got like 2 little doodads on it. Should have been like my first clue.
Wes, who is 7, and Finn, who is almost 5.
Are we
Aw.
dating other people?
I mean, I'm open to dating other people.
Yeah, see. Yeah.
I mean, yes,
Yeah.
yes, we are dating other people.
Aw.
Will you ever be returning to some of your past work,
What kind of work?
like your old podcast?
No, I don't think so. No, I'm grateful for my time there, but no, I think that era is over.
I don't know what podcast I don't know what Ariel did before this. So, yeah, I don't know what Ariel did before. I think somebody said she was an interior decorator, designer. Aren't those the same thing? I don't know.
So what's next for you?
I know that they had, I don't know why I'm doing that. They had a podcast together that was about their co-parenting. So maybe that's what she's talking about.
know that, you're a creative person, that you've been doing a bunch throughout your career, and it's kind of like, it must be exciting to kind of be like a solo artist now.
Yeah, I mean, these last 3 years have given me a lot of time to like kind of express what I love, and
Was he helping her with art? What?
I've gone back to pottery, which is something that I was really into in college. It started out as just something that I wanted to do, just to, like, I don't know, kind of center myself as like a hobby. But I've gotten really into it, and I've been spending a lot of time in my own studio, and I'm starting up my own business.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Okay. That's just people being weird.
Yeah. And we'll see where it takes me. Yeah.
Do you think you're going to be like a public, do you want to continue being an influencer?
Probably not. For a couple of reasons. I mean, the first reason is that I really enjoy just making stuff in my studio by myself. I know that sounds so silly, but I love just going into my pottery studio and just sitting at my wheel and getting so dirty and not filming it and just doing what I want to do and making mistakes and just sometimes making really shitty stuff and not having to tell anyone about it,
Mm-hmm.
And the second reason is that I feel like sometimes, and we don't have to put this part in, but it is a valid reason. I feel like sometimes people who are on the internet, there is another standard of beauty for people who are on the internet, and I don't want to hold myself to that standard anymore.
I do not disagree.
I'm going to be 40 this year, and I want to look at myself in the mirror and I want to say, fuck yeah. I don't want to look at myself in the mirror and be like, oh my God, are people going to notice that I don't look like I'm 30 anymore? Are people going to think that I look old? Are people going to think that that this is bad or this is bad or this is bad? I love looking in the mirror and being like, you know what? I look great.
Yeah.
Like good enough is good enough.
It's a refreshing place to be. Huh?
It's so great. It's so
I have no idea how old these people were. She looks good. Don't get me wrong, but I thought she was like in her mid 40s. Don't get me wrong. She looks nice. She looks good. I thought she looked older. I think Ned looks older too, but I am a terrible judge of age.
So great to be like, I look awesome. You know?
I mean, she does though. She's got beautiful skin. Her hair looks amazing. I wish my hair looked that good. You know, she looks great, but she's right about the beauty standard thing. And not just because there's always that one guy, you look ugly. Cool. You're not my type. Good. Yay. Anyway. Those people amaze me. But she's right. Like there is a beauty standard on the internet. There just is. It's the reality of the situation. Both for men and women though. It's not like men can just like roll up on the internet too. Though I will say it is different, but it exists. So it's not like nobody gets off scot-free, okay?
Yeah.
I don't want to look in the mirror and be like, I don't look good enough. I don't love that place. And I think that being a public person, that you sort of have to look at yourself that way.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I roll up on here with, some days I don't put any makeup on and I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. She's right though. Those of you who know, was she like always in videos? Did she have her own set of videos? Like, what are we talking about here? There's also a standard depending on what you do. So like if you start off, that's the other thing. If you start off as like always put together, people are going to expect you to maintain that. Or if you are a beauty, obviously if you're a beauty guru, or I see it with the fitness people too, like with the women, they kind of sometimes expect the women to always have like face done. And it's like, they're working out. Chill. Sometimes you can get away with looking like The Walking Dead, but you're going to get comments. I mean, look at the comments Anna gets. So, just saying.
Or at least that was my experience, and I choose not to do that.
Good on her for recognizing that, and good on her for being like, I don't want to put my A game on every day. Some days I just want to wear my nasty sweatpants, go get some clay on my face, and go fuck it. I don't need friends. This is my I don't need friends shirt. You know, that's fine. I understand that. My kind of related. My cousin way back, she's older than this now, but my cousin just got married. That's not true. My cousin got married a year ago. No one gives a shit. I don't know. Shut up, brain. When she was in college, when she first started college, she was looking at sororities. She's a sorority girl. And she was looking at the different sororities to end up joining. Don't quote me. I think she ended up being a Delta. Don't quote me on this. Anyway, there were 3 sororities she was looking at. 3. And she eliminated one of them, not because it was like not in her, because she was looking for academically focused ones, but the one that she ended up eliminating, like you had to always have your A game on. Like on top of, you had to do well academically, you also had to like always be presentable. And she was like, you know, they're a really great sorority and they do a lot of charity stuff and, you know, everything else is great. But she was like, I just don't want to have to bring my A game every day. And I'm like, cool. You know that about yourself. You know, some people are perfectly okay with it. Some people are like, this is what I want. But, you know, she was just like, you know, some days I just want to wear my ripped up sweatpants and just sit on the couch and die and just rot right here. I'm like, cool. There you go. And so that's why she eliminated one of them. It's funny. Both of my cousins joined sororities. I did not. I didn't even get close to a sorority. Yes, buddy? Can I do for you? You coming up? Ready? Oh my God, you weigh so much. I just got all the hair out of my nose. He has his harness on because he went outside today. All right, let's finish this. Go.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For me, I also like love creating, and instead of making pottery, I like making media. So there is this sort of inherent, like, if I'm going to be in it, yeah, you have to kind of think about what you're saying, what you look like, and yeah, it can be hard, but I'm happy for you.
Thanks.
What can I do as a co-parent and a friend to continue supporting you and to being? I mean, what do you want from me going forward?
Just be authentic. Just be authentic with your audience. You know,
Like, what are your hopes and dreams for the future?
World peace, winning the lottery, and having a VW, one of the new VW buses, and a Jeep truck.
I just generally want to be the person that I genuinely believe that I am. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like for a long time I've wanted to be one person, but I've lived the life of a person who isn't that person. And I'd like for those two things to be the same.
Same.
Yeah. And
What do you hope for the two of us?
Every time he brings it up, remember, I have them sped up, so that long pause was even longer. So, yeah, every time he brings it up, he gets that long pause from her. I just, what do you want from us then? She's like, look at her face. What can I say? He just keeps asking the same question, just worded differently.
I just want each of us to grow in the way that makes each of us happy. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to be who you are, and I want me to be who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I want for you to feel like you can be who you are, and I want you to feel like you can do that without judgment.
That was a hell of a non-answer. Though funny for her to say that, knowing that the next thing I'm going to end up watching is a video about his dating profile. We are not going to kink shame. That is not going to happen on his profile, because from what I hear, he asks for some stuff. And it doesn't sound like it's that bad. It just sounds like it's a little cringy.
And I want the same for myself.
Whoever did your hair, that's what I want. I want my hair to look like that. I don't want that hair color, but like how shiny it is and how it's all nice and ripply. My hair doesn't curl well though, so let's be honest.
I feel the same way. I think that by kind of moving forward more as individuals, we'll each be able to kind of be the best version of ourselves and to kind of discover maybe parts of ourselves that are less to the forefront when you're like really in a relationship.
This is just okay. This is just funny considering what I'm going to watch next. There's a lot of non-talk happening right now, but I just want to see what we're going to develop into and what kind of interests we can develop that you can't do when you're in a relationship. Oh, really, Ned? Well, tell me more, Ned. That aged well. Oh, shit. I want you to be more like you without judgment. Did you know?
But that's for us as individuals, but for us, as co-parents, I hope that we raise boys of honesty and integrity and are happy and feel loved. And I hope that we're a team who tells each other what's on our mind, even if it's not always, hard to say or easy to hear. That's what I hope for us, is to have a parenting partnership based in laughter, in respect, and in honesty. Thank you. You again to Ariel. Thank you for your honesty, your vulnerability, your directness. This
Boy, she eviscerated you.
truly meant a lot to me, and thank you for watching. Next week, I'm excited to not be the subject of the episode.
You weren't the subject of the episode.
I'll be having a conversation with Lara Love Hardin. She is a mother who overcame a battle with heroin addiction and eventually was a Oprah book club bestseller. So it's full of insightful and human drama, and you're not going to want to miss it. So
You're a very bad off-the-cuff speaker. Hopefully you'll get better at that.
see you next week, and take care.
He's a white man. Anyway, so we're gonna freeze on that face. That's the face. That is the face of your sleep paralysis demon from here on out. Right. Y'all think your sleep paralysis demon is something like horrific and monstrous. No, it's Ned smiling at you. Exactly like that. Anyway, so we had a lot of moral masking going on, reframing everything that was wrong with him as just societal pressure. There we were. His internet persona and his, what did he call it? Producers and the other 4 Try guys. And, he had to have this public persona, and it leaked into his private persona. He has, he's still trying to use his victimhood here. He actually got in this time, like he became the subject at points in these last few minutes, these last 18 minutes. So like he got a moment to be the subject, which is good for him because for once he didn't have to try to co-opt or steal time from Ariel, but he's still trying to like strategically make himself the victim. And he's, slipping the name of the podcast in there, like Rock Bottom. I think both of them said it at some point. But he is trying to elevate his own problems that were self-created. The consequences of my own decisions. He is trying to elevate it to equal footing with her trauma of his betrayal, which, personally, I don't believe is equal footing. Because again, the consequences of my own actions versus you screwed me over. 2 different things. Transactional altruism. Again, we still have him even here at this little ending here. I'm glad to not be the subject. You weren't the subject. Your wife was. Your ex-wife was. But he's still using Ariel here and using Ariel's pain. Well, first off, to get us to watch this first episode. And he is giving her the platform onto which she can vent herself via this podcast. And then he uses her at the end to switch the attention back onto him. Now, again, in all fairness, there's only 2 of them. Somebody had to ask him questions. Like I said, it's not like a third person is going to jump on here and be like, hey, Ned, now tell us about your Rock Bottom podcast. Okay, so somebody had to ask the question. There's only 2 people, so it had to be Ariel, right? Or unless he's going to take out a hand pump. No, Ned, tell us about your podcast. That would have been really funny, though. I would have enjoyed that. Anyhow. So in that moment, the switch gets flipped, and he's still using Ariel. But now he's using Ariel to legitimize his new project, right? So there's a new transaction occurring here, right? So he is now using Ariel to legitimize his project, this podcast, his Rock Bottom. He's got a parasitic intimacy going on with her. again, constantly trying to kind of like trick her into maybe saying, oh, yeah, we'll get back together. She shuts that down every time, but he manages to reword things constantly as, oh, well, we're still partners, right? And I don't want to harp on too much the co-parenting thing, but he does use that as an anchor to keep the two of them together as a team, right? I'm not saying he's using the kids because I don't feel like either of them are doing that. Like I said, they barely mention the kids throughout the podcast, right? Which means to me, I don't feel like they're using the kids like a football. They both seem to genuinely, when they do mention the kids, they both seem to genuinely express care for the kids. But he's using the status as co-parent as a way to anchor him and Ariel together, right? It's not about the kids in that moment. Does that make sense? Doesn't have anything to do about the kids. It's the status of being co-parents, right? Then we've got he's constantly trying to control the discourse. He's constantly trying to like rebrand and redefine words and things. Like he was asking about the dating at the very end there. Ariel answered the question. He says, are you and I dating? And she's like, no. And he says, are we dating separately? And Ariel's like, I'd like to. And then she, for whatever reason, she goes, okay, yes. So I guess maybe she is seeing someone. I don't know. That was kind of weird. But he kind of like pressed her into re-answering that question. Anyway, of course, the whole ritualized deception thing. Oh, that's another thing. He himself does not refer to it as a affair, and I can't remember if he calls it betrayal. He refers to it as the scandal. He refers to it as, he uses pretty much any other word than affair. So that's another way he's trying to control language as a way. There's other little things. My brain's fried. I'm sorry. But then we get to the ritualized deception. Yeah, that whole mantra the whole time of I will always regret this. I'm sorry you were hurt. There's nothing I can do to change the past. Like he has these mantras that he used throughout the entire podcast, which effectively kind of absolved him of any kind of real responsibility or accountability. Oh, and then of course the big one, the self-mythologizing feedback loop, which started really ramping up in the last 20 minutes, where you really see him building his redemption arc, where Ned becomes the hero we never knew we needed, nor wanted, apparently. Maybe I'm being too hard on Ned. Maybe. I don't know. I don't care for Ned as a person, personality-wise, by the end of this, but I am fascinated with Ned as a character. Yeah, maybe. I would definitely watch and react to more Ned. I find him fascinating. But he definitely is trying, especially there at the end, to create his phoenix moment where he is going to rise from the ashes of his rock bottom moment and return to the internet and return to the thing that made him famous, his influencer status. And he is going to, become an influencer again, right? Here we are. So, and I think, is an anti-influencer a thing? Yeah, I think we've talked about this a few times with the girls, like whatever they're given, you won't buy. I don't think Ned's that bad though. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Because I watched this and then I watched Observes. Did I say that right? Observes video. And I watched Psychology in Seattle's video and Snoop's, and I don't remember, but they're all linked down in the description. Because I watched those 4 videos and they're all kind of anti-Ned, all of the video recommendations that I get are anti-Ned. So I don't know if there's any like pro-Ned stuff out there. I guess I should go try to find it because I'm not necessarily anti-Ned. I just want to see if he's like successful with this personal rebrand that he's trying to do. All right. But anyway, the goal was to keep these relatively around an hour. All right. So we have made it this far. If you are here, go ahead and put a rock. That's so obvious. How have I not used that yet? Go ahead and put a rock down in the comment section as your emoji. There has to be a rock emoji. There has to be a rock or a mountain, something like that. Something rock-like. Let me know what you guys think down below. We're done. We did it. We came to the end. We are at the end. We're here. We made it. Oh, yeah. We were going to go look at the other podcast episodes. All right. Hang on. Oh, my God. That's terrifying. So 3 months ago on hashtag Giving Tuesday, Ned Fulmer did an Ask Me Anything live stream. That might be fun to do. YouTube's podcast tab is not true podcasts. Just letting you guys know. So as of a month ago, did he take a break or something? How many videos does he have? Is there somewhere where it will tell me how many videos he has? There we go. It's got 32 videos as of a month ago. He's just got some... I'm just scrolling through these. This is how your marriage ends with Matthew Frey. I don't know any of these people. Do I know any of these people? I don't know any of these people. Getting canceled mental health and de-influencing Lee from America's rock bottom. There's an America's rock bottom? She faked her death to escape student loan debt. It's not that bad. I mean, try not to do it, but it's not that bad. Why do people cheat? A psychologist's answers. That might be fun. Beyond infidelity. And then why prenups matter and financial rock bottom. Financial rock bottom? What? This thing's all over the place. Your rich BFF Vivian 2. I think I've actually watched some of her stuff. Doesn't she do investing advice? She's not a rock bottomy person, is she? I think I've watched Vivian too. Yeah, Your Rich BFF. I think I've watched her a few times. The student loan fraud. Does he have shorts? He does. Not many, though. Are there more podcasts than just that? No, there's only 14 episodes there. All right. Well, you guys let me know if there's an episode that you would like to go over. We won't do it in this format. We'll try to cram it into 1 or 2 episodes instead of trying to do this. This was fun, but I don't think we need to really go over anything quite like that again. I don't know if he's on hiatus, because again, there hasn't been a video since a month ago. But he is doing other things. I know he had like other projects, and I want to dig those up and look into those as well. Again, we're going to look at his dating profile because I'm curious. That's why. So that's the next thing we're going to look at with Ned. But we are going to continue to do Ned Fulmer stuff because I find him fascinating. And until he does something that is truly just beyond my ability to handle, we're going to stick with Ned for a bit because I think he's fun. And that's all I've got for you guys. So your final emoji for this podcast series is a rock. Damn it, almost made it. That's all I've got for you guys. So until the next one, I will see you guys there. Thank you to everybody who's been supporting the channel. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. You guys rock. Thank you to everybody who's going to hit the thumbs up button. Oh, and I guess I hype the thing. That's a new thing I haven't been asking people to do. I don't know what it does. But thanks for hyping the video. And I'll see everybody in the next one. Bye.
This is my outro music. You can't copyright strike me because it's just me singing. This is my outro music. Thank you for watching. See you next time.